stop it and tidy up. Hey Blankers, and welcome back to the second part of this podcast episode. Do you remember at the end of the last one we had so much great stuff recorded we had to break it up? Well, this is the next bloody bit. Enjoy! So welcome back, Blankers. We're here with the second part of this latest episode, and we've got our latest guest with us, local legend, Mr. Gavin Plucknett. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Thanks for having me.
Should we go for a little... shall we? The posse. We've tried to get a posse. They didn't get paid, so they left us. Well, thank you very much for giving us your time, young man. Appreciate you coming down all the way from Whittam. I think you've moved out of the darkest
where I currently
wilds.
reside.
Beautiful. So, furthest guest to travel to us thus far.
Right.
So, you're winning on that front, at the very least. So, first and foremost, why don't you tell us and the listeners who you are and a little bit about yourself?
Okay.
Very vague. We don't want to put too much on it. You can tell us musical or just give us a little intro. Who is Gavin Plucknett?
Oh, I remember, first day there was a big bright light.
Mum?
What can I say? I'm local. I was born in Basildon.
Woohoo!
Hey, there you go.
That's a good start.
And,
endears us already.
Yeah, that's it. So I'm definitely know the area. Grew up in the area, and I think kind of in my teens. Loved.
You're in your teens
already.
Oh,
We've skipped. We skipped a few years from white light straight to the teens.
They were
That's
loose.
impressive.
Yeah, it's boring.
Don't let the beard fool you.
I've just poured water up my nose. That's so exciting.
It's the best way to go.
It's the best. It's the only way to go.
Yeah, it is.
Sorry, man.
Sorry.
No. It's fine. I was into, I don't know, like kind of I found Nirvana and like kind of all that in my teens, and instantly you want to learn to play guitar.
Yeah.
So what's this
Cool.
90s?
This was 90s. So I left secondary school in 98. So for me, it would have been 94, 95, 96, like kind of like that.
Formative, proper years.
Yeah, that's it. And it was, and then, and it's like grunge scene and metal. So like Metallica was like massive.
Yeah,
like
sure.
Black Album and all that. Right, it was just insane. So that's what I wanted to do. And then I tried, and I really wasn't very disciplined.
Okay.
And I wasn't very good, but I kind of, I kept plugging away at it, and got to a point where I could play a tune, like to, fair enough. And then as I got a bit older and I got a bit more disciplined, I was then able to kind of utilise my practice time a lot better, and I got good at playing the guitar a bit more, and then I started singing while playing guitar, and I remember the first time I ever tried to sing, I used to sit upstairs with my headphones on, and I remember this one time I was like singing away, and then I stopped and went downstairs, and my mum looked at me and just went, "Do you know you're tone deaf?"
No.
Inauspicious start
really?
to your career.
And that was it. And it was just
I thought you were going to say, you're amazing.
Yeah. Oh my God, I think you're going to make it.
Is that on the post stuff as well?
That's it. I was like,
4 stars.
Deftones,
Tone deaf.
Deftones. No, just tone deaf. It's like, so I kind of put a line under that for a long time,
Even with that glowing reference ringing in your ears, you thought, "No, I'm going to park it."
It's like building your...
And so you self-taught then?
I was like, I don't know,
self-taught.
up until that, like no formal training or anything. It was just, like literally just imitation was kind of like a big thing for me. So it was like, you kind of listen to how people sounded, and then I'd sing how they sounded, and then slowly you'd end up going, well, actually, I know I could do that, and I could do that, and then that kind of sounds like this, and it's an interesting place to start, because you then have to go back and relearn everything, right, to kind of find who you are when you're kind of doing it all. But so it started with that, and then when I was in my early 20s, I remember just thinking, well, I want I want to sing, so I'm going to give this a try. You know, I don't. Can't,
Whatever my mother
surely I
says.
can learn.
So, yeah.
Screw that woman. What does she know?
If you was to ask my mum now, she's like the proudest. You know what I mean?
Is she like number one
always
fan
going,
now?
yeah, she's always going on, and she absolutely loves it. But I always know if I want an honest opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go to her.
That's-
Go
that's
to mum.
what I'm
She's
Yeah.
clearly not going to hold back.
Yeah. One of my favourites. I was in a band, and she really enjoyed the band I was in, and then that band kind of broke up, and we formed a new band.
She
And
didn't split
we
them
went
up.
we went a different way with some stuff. And she come to my first gig, and I remember going, "Oh, what do you reckon?" Like really excited by a new experimental kind of, and she just went, not as good as your last band, is it?
Oh, so did
Is
you
she,
not run the...
is she Eastern European, your mum?
She does sound like she's east of Romania, doesn't she?
Couldn't get more East London. But I absolutely love her. I just know that like she's the most honest person I'm ever going to meet. And you know
That's
that
good,
he's
though.
not.
Keeps you
It
nice
does.
and level.
It really does. Like, because it means if I do get a compliment, right, I've earned
you've earned
that
it.
compliment.
Very true.
you
No,
know?
fair-
And probably even more than that because she wouldn't want to show favouritism.
Yeah, so you got over and above. You got over exceed to get even a well done.
Even an alright, yeah.
So what, did you sing in front of mates though for a little bit as well? Did you ever was there a bit of like in
There
the?
was, yeah. Well, leading up to that, right, there were holidays. There was a point where my guitar would go with me everywhere, and even like abroad. And like, there'd be points where I'm like sitting in hotels at around 12 o'clock at night after everyone's gone to bed, and you get the group that never want to go to sleep. So
Yeah, of course.
you're just playing songs to them. And what I realised, like, kind of, a lot those people appreciate it, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that don't.
Yeah.
You know? And like I always seem to get into trouble with that kind of, like, there was always like the group of lads that was just that fucking prick with a guitar, kind of whatever. And you just kind of, it just becomes part of it, right? And then you just kind of that person that does this, and then you have friends that also do that as well, and you kind of learn as you go in that you need to kind of share that spot, and there's a lot of etiquette that comes with it all that you don't, you basically make mistakes, and then you kind of just kind of build it as you go. But I wanted to sing, so I just went out and bought all the equipment, and I thought, you know what, because I'm that kind of person, I'll do it, and then I'll decide it ain't quite working, and it'll sit in the cupboard. But I kind of, the only way I could get myself to really try was if I spent so much money on it.
You've got to justify it and make it work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If I did just leave it in the corner, I'd forever just be looking at it going,
That's $2,000.
That's so much money. Yeah, exactly.
absolutely.
That I got, so it did, and it drove me. It drove me to do it, and then I didn't quite have the confidence to do it by myself, and then I met. I was working at the council at the time, Jim, did you work? You were at the council for a while, right?
I was indeed.
Yeah, bin man.
So this is
Jimmy
how
the bin man.
I have a personal relationship with the guest. So I did work at the same local authority as you could self, Mr. Plucknett. Yes.
Yeah. So
Do you remember much of
got any
Jim,
stories?
Gav, as well? Yeah. I heard some rumours.
We've had some evenings on the bevies.
Yes.
We used to play in a five-a-side football team as well.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I may have inadvertently injured our.
That's
our
not
guests.
unusual.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
It's not
Ooh.
unusual,
You
is it?
did everyone.
I Tom Jones a lot of them, didn't I? Yeah. Not unusual at all.
Just kind of assume that when he hurts you, it means he really likes you.
That's what it is. Yeah, I mean, I'm hurting these all the time, emotionally more than anything.
That's what Roy Keane did to Haaland, wasn't it?
He loved him.
He loved
Absolutely
him.
loved
Absolutely.
him. Yeah, really showed him by snapping his leg in three. But yeah, sorry, Gav, you were saying.
No, it's fine.
Council.
Yeah, I've got an image now of laying in the back of the ambulance, right, sucking on Gus and Gus. Sucking on Gus.
Now,
That was a good night.
that was our goalkeeper at the time. He was a massive guy, but
Nothing
boy,
got past Gus. Nothing got past Gus.
It's got it.
I think it might have been gas in there you were taking.
Yes,
at the time.
yes, I think you're right. You're right.
Yeah. But do you know what? I think we should leave it.
Scott,
Sucking
got
on
an
Gus.
image.
I was in the
of-
back of an ambulance sucking on Gus.
Barry, let's just edit a Gus
Yeah.
and quickly cut
Yeah,
into a bit
yeah.
of music or something.
I just got this image of this goalkeeper, just like completely naked, football boots, and just goalkeeper
In the back of an ambulance as well.
As a drummer and guitarist goes to town on him.
Gavin, the ambulance want to leave. Just give me one more minute.
I'm really finished.
It's helping with the pain.
Oh,
Here
man.
comes your reward.
Oh no.
Yeah, we're going to have to mark this one as explicit.
Yeah, that was massively. Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, you were saying.
Yes, so yeah, I knew Jim before. We
Gus.
worked together for a bit. Gus, yeah. I never saw Gus after that.
Okay.
It's just awkward.
You've got to write a song about him, surely. There you go.
Oh, yeah, that'll work.
Let's go.
This one's for you, Gus.
Yeah, this one.
Climb every mountain.
Fellatio emergency.
My God, that's the album. Delightful.
Sorry.
Oh man, wow. Glasses are getting steamed up now.
Oh,
Wow.
That's what he said on the night.
Gus has that effect on people, doesn't he? I've never met the guy, and already I'm slightly drawn to him.
Yeah.
I'm strangely drawn.
Yeah, so at the council, I met Julie. I met basically the lady that was destined to be my singing partner for 8-9 years, I think.
Yeah,
we
of
sung
course,
together,
yeah,
and we did a lot of stuff. We went on the circuit as we were known as Duet.
okay.
And yeah, that was really fun, and I think that in itself gave me the confidence, right, to kind of, because there was a lot of failure in that, like, you know.
So were you doing
when
your
I
own
started,
stuff, or were you doing
No,
covers,
it
or
was just covers. It was just like
Okay.
basically, you know, we did a Christmas show at the council, right, and I think I was playing guitar for, like, in the band, and Julie was an amazing singer, and I just remember thinking, like, kind of, you know, how great she sounded, and then I kind of did my stuff and didn't think much of it, and then just, you know, we become friends, and I just remember when I did it all, I just had this moment where I was like, I don't want to do this by myself, you know. And Julie, you know, really wanted to sing, and I think, you know, for her, she, you know what I mean, the same thing, you know what I mean. Doing it by yourself's really scary because you got
there's nowhere to hide, is there? Absolutely.
Exactly. So, you know, we did that together, and we loved every second of it for the longest time. And we learned a lot, you know, about, you know, just general stuff like equipment, setting up your own equipment. You know, I've never, you know, I can carry 2 speakers, one on each shoulder, like, now forever, right? Because you just kind of get used to that.
Skills for life.
Yeah, exactly. That, and just, you know, generally talking to agents and getting bookings, and, you know, how to market yourself and how much you're worth, all that kind of stuff. You just kind of learn as you're going along, which is kind of nice, and it kind of just builds up all these little bits that you don't realise when you kind of think, I want to do this, that these are things you need to consider, you know. And it was nice to get all that stuff done quite early, and then I thought, I better start getting good, right?
Now I need the talent to go with all this marketing expertise.
Exactly, yeah. So then, and I'm always one. This year, I got diagnosed with ADHD. Yeah, and it was kind of a bit of a revelation. Kind of so many things you go, oh,
It all clicks.
Right.
like, you know, that's and it kind of explained why I always ping pong between things all the time. You know, so like from doing that, I then started. You know, I played rock band once. Yeah, and my mate had a little drum kit, and the one day I played it, I think I completed it on hard with no previous experience of playing drums, and I just went, I might have something
There's
going
something
on
there.
here.
Yeah.
So then I went out and bought a kit, and then I got the kit, and then I wanted to be in a band, and then I started drumming for bands, and then and that was kind of what I did for a while, and I kind of built that up over time, and then I did start doing some formal training, not very much, but I want to do this properly, and I want to be quite good. So I went and got like I think I got like grade 5. I think, like, I ended up getting
This is in
to-
drumming.
Yeah, so this was in drumming. This was like I think it's I can't remember. It's not your city and guilds, but like whatever you know what I mean, the qualifications are for, like. But it was grade 5 equivalent or whatever the thing was, and which was nice. And then that kind of gave me the confidence to kind of go, right, okay, well, I know I'm at A standard, right, so I can pretty much wing my way through much. And then you find a group of blokes that are kind of, you know, similar sort of thing, and you build that up, which is good. And then I ended up just pinging between lots of different stuff. Because I'm one of those people who are quite black and white. So, you know, you promise me something, and I'll, you know, or we say we're going to do something, and that's what I'll aim for, and I'll give it my all. But if everyone else doesn't kind of keep that focus, like it doesn't take a lot for me to kind of go, right, okay, well,
if it derivates from that path, you're like, that's not what we signed on for.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. You know, I can see it's not quite going to work, right? Because it's not, you know, it's I kind of get that from my mum as well, right? So I'm quite honest in that respect, you know. And it's something that some people can take it and some people can't, and that. But so I ping-ponged across a lot of different bands. Every time it kind of did, you know, I realised that it wasn't quite working out. I just go, right, well, we'll start the next thing. And then I met these guys, Shoasis. Like, you know, always been, like, played a lot of Oasis on guitar. Like, back in the day, I remember just sitting at a friend's house once, and we basically spent maybe like a whole summer. I'd just go around there and we were just basically playing What's the Story, Morning Glory album. And Travis, the Man Who, like, it was kind of just alternating between those two, like maybe for an entire summer, and it was great. And we just, you know, and then when the opportunity came, I was doing a lot of rock stuff because I was kind of really deviated. I was in like a metal band before this, and then I got a phone call from a friend saying, look, the drummer's gone in this band, Oasis tribute band. They've been, you know, they're established. Do you want to go and audition? So, yeah, okay, fine. So I went down there and I'd done the audition, and then I didn't hear from them for about 4 or 5 months. I was like, oh, like, you just kind of, because I've done a few auditions, you kind of get to the point where you kind of go, look, yeah, don't make a decision on the spot. You go away, you think about it, and if they don't get back to you within a week or whatever, you kind of just...
Your assumption is it's been and gone, yeah.
And then I think it was like I auditioned in October or September or something, and then I got a phone call like New Year's, like saying, oh, like, you still interested? And I was like, yeah, like, I hadn't had much else going on. I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, like, you know, do it. So I went and done that, and it was fine. It wasn't until years later that they admitted to me that the reason it took them so long was because it turned up. I was a metalhead, right? I turned up with a massive, long, pointy beard.
the full wizard.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, like, pretty much wearing black, like, you know what I mean, like black metal shirt.
The image.
Yeah, and that was it. And like, they were like, your drumming was absolutely spot on, and you know, all of the stuff was there, and it was like, it was great. But
you have to go and get a Kagul on that.
Where's your parka?
And this was it. And it was kind of and I didn't dress the part, let's just say. And but apparently for ages they were going, Mark, do you reckon he'd shave his beard off? Do you reckon?
Really?
Do you reckon
this is a real. This is a deal breaker.
They're going to pin you down at one stage.
Yeah. It was just.
Don't you start? You've pinned enough people down.
Well,
your beast.
It gets results, Jim.
It really does.
Gus isn't in the band.
He would have persuaded me.
Yeah, straight away. That's coming off.
Yeah. What's on your rider, Gav? Just Gus. Just Gus.
Yeah, me and Gus did a Strokes covers band. It was
touche.
I know where them Strokes are going.
yeah. Rehearsals were so much fun.
Okay.
So what year was this that you joined Shoasis?
Oh man, this was probably they're the longest band I've ever been with, and it kind of feels like a bit like a marriage now. So like stuff that would normally bother me before, you just kind of ride out.
Yeah.
At this point, it just, you know, it's going to carry on forever. But that was, how long have I been there? Maybe like 5 years now. So that would have been
2017.
2017. Lenny was just born, so 2017. Yeah. Okay. So my son, because I remember I just joined, and then Anna was due to give birth. So I think I did one gig, and then I take. It's like that. Take 2 months off or something, you know, to go and spend time with my boy. And then we did that, and it's been going kind of ever since, you know, which has been really nice, and it kind of really fits because I'm so familiar with the songs, and like obviously love the band so much, and kind of whatever. It didn't take long to get it to a point where we were all playing it quite well, and like I could step away for months, right, and then just kind of come back and pretty much
comfy
play
pair
it.
of shoes almost.
Yeah,
exactly. Back into it.
So how easy is it to learn the drums, as in like for like Oasis songs and stuff? Because like do you read sheet music with it or?
I don't.
I'm always intrigued with the drums.
So this was it. So I know how to read drum sheet music, right? But I've never been one of those people that needs it in front of me. I always feel like if it's in there, right? It needs. That's where you want to get to. You want to get to the point where you don't. You know, if it was something really serious, I'd
Yeah.
like to have something on the side, right,
Yeah,
just in
sure.
case. But for this, they just get whatever I can remember. But a lot of it's quite similar. You know what I mean?
okay,
Like,
yeah.
a lot of the structure of an Oasis track, or the backbone of it is quite similar, and then they play around with the stuff that sits on top of it, right?
Oh,
And that's
okay.
what normally kind of gets. So when you're looking at the sort of rhythm section of it, like, you know, there are a few exceptions to that rule. You know what I mean? You got like Go Let It Out, right? And that was a real kind of, it's probably one of my favourite songs to play there, just because, you know, it's like kind of got that hip hoppy kind of beat that no other of their tracks has, and it and it's nice because it's different. And then you've got things like Master Plan as well, you know, although still essentially the same sort of beat or backbone, it's kind of got the little odd twists and turns that kind of make it interesting, you know, and it means I can't just, you know, kind of drift off,
Relax and stuff, yeah.
exactly.
So that must be different coming from, like you say, coming from a heavy metal band as you were doing, and then suddenly, because I mean, I'm not sure, Oasis, they've had a few drummers, haven't they? Oasis, am I right?
So they started off with Tony McCarroll, who was chucked out because he wasn't able to take them to the next level where Noel saw it going. Right, he was very Bobby Basic.
Yep.
And then they went
Yeah.
very Bobby Basic.
He had-
It's a drum term. So,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
No, sounds like it.
Me, Gus, and Gav know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was
This
Alan
guy's
White,
so
wasn't it,
Bobby.
for ages? But he was a Cockney, so they weren't keen on him.
So it's
either.
just the two. I thought somebody
And
else.
they had Zach Starkey, didn't they? He was George. Is it George?
There
Harrison's?
wasn't-
No,
oh, they
Ringo
went-
Starr's.
Didn't have Weller's son for a bit.
So they've had a few
they've had a few
drummers.
fill-ins.
He must have been a Cockney, wasn't he? Or
So the
must have
drumming
been-
style must have changed then,
Was it-
over the Oasis albums.
Yeah,
like-
you kind of think it kind of settled when it got to, you know, I think when it got to Starkey, right? And he
Yeah.
had that kind of, because he come from a jazz sort of background, and that was when you started getting the nice little
Right.
rolls, you know, like I don't know, like if you think about Don't Look Back in Anger, yeah, or Wonderwall, when you get those
Okay.
nice little like all those
right, okay.
nice little bits that kind of fill it out. You
Yeah.
know, that was when you really started getting that nice. You know,
Just a richer, fuller sound
the
and
richer,
stuff.
fuller
Yeah.
sound on the drums. And then before that, like you say, it was kind of a bit more just cheese and crackers.
Just
right?
keep time,
was just-
innit, essentially, wasn't it?
It was like, you know, but like bass, snare, that boom, car, boom, boom, car, you know. But
Yeah.
the patterns never really changed much. It was just what he was able to do with them, right? And kind
Just
of
filling
the
them
way
up.
he filled them out, which was,
right.
and that, for me, that was when that kind of all really changed, you know. But like, you know, you still listen to kind of the older stuff, and it's still mwah, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
absolutely,
It's
yeah.
like it drives, and that's what it was there to do, right? Whether he was amazing or not, like he'd done a job, right? And
Yeah, he got them to
Yeah.
where they
it
need
was-
to be. The first album's always going to be
Yeah.
known as the best.
Top
isn't
five
it?
drummers,
no, yeah.
Gav.
Oh, you're going
God,
straight in with the big
drummers.
stuff. Look at this guy. He's well proud of that.
He's
isn't
licking
he?
his lips,
Top
Phil.
five
Like a hungry
drummers.
hyena.
Drummers.
Holy moly. Go on then.
Oh, this
The gorilla
kinda,
from the Dairy Milk advert.
yeah,
Yeah, clearly right up there.
I had to have prepared something.
No.
You kind of look at it, right, and it's you know, I mean, I'm the centre of my own universe.
So you're number one.
Okay.
So you're number one.
Yeah, and I'm not great. I'm not great, but
Take
like,
that.
you know,
Where would-
ask anyone.
Would Animal from the Muppets make it? into the
For
top
sure,
five?
for absolutely sure. The guy's an absolute monster.
Really
You know,
is.
he just
Better or worse than Keith Moon?
It's definitely on a par.
he was saner
Yeah, yeah, probably. Yeah,
for sure. Like talking about Keith Moon, man, the guy. Some people, you know, there's drummers like I like to think of myself. I don't like to do very many flash things. I'll do what the song needs me to do, and I'll play it and I'll do my best, right? But I it's not an extension of me, you know what I
No.
mean? I have to practice. I have to, you know, hone it. But some people are just able to kind of, they have like a symphony in their head, right? And it just kind of plays, and they're able to, they
Right.
just know what needs to
Yeah.
happen, right? And a lot of that, it doesn't just, you know, like a lot of people think like musicians, some musicians just have the gift or whatever. They don't. They practice a lot, you know, and it's all about repetition. It's about knowing what you can and can't do in certain situations. But once you've got the tools, the next thing is like the true stars are the people that are able to just kind of pick the right tool for the job, right, and craft something that's just absolutely amazing, which, Keith Moon could. You know what I mean? Like, you listen to some of that stuff, and I'm like, I just wouldn't think about doing that in that situation. You know, and that's where the genius.
You mark a
comes from,
genius,
right? Yeah, exactly. So it's great, you know. So you got your Keith Moon. Going quite standard. I'm a massive Foo Fighters fan. I was a massive Nirvana fan. I was like, so obviously, you know, for me, Dave Grohl and Taylor Hawkins, God rest him, just stars. Do you know what I mean? It's and again, it was never anything massively. You know what I mean? Like, it was all, you know, they pride themselves on doing it right, and there's, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of flash and there's a lot of amazingness in there, but it's not at the expense of doing it well. Yeah. And I think that's what appeals to me more than anything, rather than kind of, you know, someone that's like amazingly flash and whatever. It's just someone that is able to do what the song needs.
A proper team player sort of thing.
I suppose that's probably the case, isn't it? And it's not putting anything down, but you probably associate with bassists and drummers. They're the kind of the guys who you don't notice. Solid, they just do what they do, but you don't. Whereas the lead guitar and the singer obviously get all the glory, don't they? It's the bassist and the drummer that probably hold it all together. But you don't notice them really. You just,
so in the bar,
and the poor rhythm guitarist that never gets a mention at all. Right?
Do you three all sit there going, you know, he's done it again. He's giving it the old Barry Balls. Oh man, just.
But to be fair, you talked about Keith Moon, and he was probably the first drummer who pushed himself so far to the front. A couple of stages, he was almost like the draw, you know. It was like, that's unheard of.
You don't quite know what you're going to get, almost, do you?
Not really, and the antics that come with it, but also you had the talent to back it up, didn't you?
And that's it. You can't really moan. Like, you let the guy do what he wants when you know at the end of it, regardless of what state he's in, he's gonna do it. He's gonna be absolutely smashed it, right? Yeah. Me, I'm scared to have more than 2 beers before I go up on stage, right? Because I'm just like,
you wouldn't consider taking a gorilla tranquilizer like Keith did in San Francisco.
Can you imagine on the very last gig he just goes, you know what?
Yeah,
to hell with it. Let's get the gorilla. Let's get the tranks out. Let's see what I can really do.
I can't.
It might open up that hole. Your third eye opens. It's like, this is amazing.
The door.
I'm seeing in colour. I'm seeing in colour. I can see in sound.
It's like
everywhere.
I think it's a gig in San Francisco. It's like Keith Moon is literally passed out on his drums, and his personal assistant's crawling on the floor in the middle of a live show with a shot of adrenaline,
just to get him going again.
Whacks it. I think he whacks it into his leg, and then he comes
alive.
But on time still.
Exactly.
He was still listening to everything that was going on, right?
I can't open my eyes, but I'm hearing you guys. It sounds good. Let me come back in.
And that's it. Like, you know, you say, like, in my mind, I'd be like thinking I'm a true genius. Like, I'm seeing I can taste the sound. And then, like, you know, ultimately I'm just twitching on the floor.
Dribbling mess. Like, I've eaten one of my drumsticks. What's happened? It's all gone wrong. Where did it go wrong, Mum? My best gig thus far, darling. You've done ever so well. I'm trying to get the accent, but I don't think I've gone far enough east.
How was I, Mummy? Yeah.
So we mentioned Shoasis, and obviously that's where these two might have seen you before.
Yes, very good.
I haven't, but I'm coming on 19th.
So myself and Dale, we've definitely been to a previous gig. Yeah. We've got several of our close friends of the show are also lined up for the show. So do you want to tell us about this show and where it is and when it is and so on?
Yeah, so, you know, obviously with the pandemic and everything, you know what I mean, we hadn't done much, like, you know, and it's been, you know, we tried a few things, and then there's been things that kind of get in the way, and a lot of people have managed to pick themselves back up and get back out there a lot sooner than we have, and but it's really nice to kind of, you know, we're kind of back. We've done it since I've started with the band. We've done Leigh Community Centre, for Martin, for the Leigh Rocks nights, and they're always like absolutely top nights, and he has great bands in, like he has like a Weller tribute, and like he's had Pink Floyd and Bowie, and you know, it's Oasis as well, which awesome. You should buy your tickets. And so we got that. I think that's the 19th of November. Is that right? I think
that sounds about right.
So we're back there for the first time in a good few years, and this one's been a bit of because we love doing these gigs, and at one point we didn't think we were going to do it because we had a situation where obviously we had it booked, and then second lockdown happened, and that got cancelled, and then we booked it again, and then we had a personal situation with one of our members who had he had to have an operation, so we had to kind of say, I'm really sorry, we need to move the date again, and then he gave us a date and then he'd got the date wrong and was double booked, so he had to change that date as well.
It's like it's
and
never going to happen.
Yeah, it was almost like we just every time we tried to kind of redo this one, and then it never quite happened. And then finally we got settled on this date, and kind of everyone's looking forward to it.
So is that going to be your first gig back, or have you actually played?
We've done one, I think last month. It was just a little local one over at. We kind of just did, we got like everyone's got their local place, right? And we like to use those as almost like blowing off the dust and kind of, it's still great shows, and we give it our all, but it's kind of nice to do that. So we did that over in Langdon. I think it was like a social club over there. I think it was a Great Berry. Is that the Great Berry Social? Yeah. So we played that, and that was a really great night, and that's good. It gave us all like the confidence boost, like to kind of
we can get back into.
Do you know what? This is still going to be great, but we're really looking forward to this Leigh gig. It's always it's a good size. It's always absolutely rammed. Do you know what I mean? And everyone there.
Are there tickets still available?
I believe so. Yeah, for sure. And I think it's prices. I think it's £12 if you order online. Or 15 quid on the door if you want to buy them on the door when you get there. And it's a solid 2 hour solid plus. 2 hour, yeah. You get a lot of Oasis. Get through some tracks, don't you? I think there's people that like Oasis, right? And then there's people that really like Oasis and really enjoy the full 2 hours, whereas, if we're doing some festivals, we managed to get and do a few festivals last year. So we played Cheltenham Racecourse. Oh, right. Which was really nice. That was, I think, like a sausage and cider festival. Oh, yeah. There were thousands of people there, and it was packed, and it was amazing. It was a 45-minute, like the absolute classics. So who would choose that set list then? Is that a group thing, or is that your Liam, as it were, or is it who gets the There's overall? Kind of that. I think we've all been doing it so long that we know there are like almost like it's like an unwritten ranking of the ones you have to do. Yeah. So there's always like the top ones, like Champagne Supernova, Wonderwall, Don't Look Back in Anger, What's the Story, Morning Glory, Live Forever. Like kind of those absolute anthems that they've always got to be done. Yeah. Right. And then with those festival ones, then there might be one song that we get to throw in, which is for us, right? And that'd be something like, I don't know, like Bring It On Down, or Shock of the Lightning, or kind of something that's a bit more a bit less mainstream, right? You would expect anyone to know. Almost, exactly. So we always like to throw one of those in. We're like, I can't believe they played that. We got one that we do at the moment, which I really enjoy. We spent a bit of time working on, which is Cigarettes and Alcohol. Actually, you'll hear this on the night. It's Cigarettes and Alcohol, and then after the first chorus, we go into Beatles number, which is why was the song good? Not Helter Skelter, no, because that was on the album, right? They did that on the album. We did that I think they did that before I joined, so they had that on there for a bit. We do I've completely lost it. Day Tripper. Oh, okay. So it goes from Cigarettes and Alcohol into Day Tripper, and then once we kind of play that, we then go back into the second half of Cigarettes and Alcohol, and it all just kind of fits together really nicely. Oh, nice. And I remember the first time we did that was at a festival set, and there was this moment, because you're really unsure, right? It's all really new, and obviously you've got 45 minutes to kind of be Oasis. Yeah. And then we kind of dropped that, and then there was a moment where you saw the confusion on everyone's face about what was going on. And it was at that point in the night where everyone had had enough to drink as well. They had enough sausage. Enough cider. Enough sausage, enough cider. And then there was that moment of confusion, and then you just saw then the face just went, whoa! And then the whole place just erupted, and it was just, it was so good to see. Nice. And just, it all kind of went, you kind of saw that, and then going back into it. So they didn't lose, do you know what I mean? They didn't lose like their song, if that was like your favourite song. It's kind of, they still got the end of that as well coming out, and but it keeps it interesting for you guys as well. And that's it, exactly. And I think it's, we like to, we don't so much imitate, right? We're not like, we won't come out all dressed like, Jamie, he'll wear the parka, right? He'll wear all the stuff. But, like me, I haven't shaved my beard, right? Yeah. If you're lucky, I'll wear a small check shirt. Right, but ultimately, that's the nod. I'm a sweaty bloke, so I'm pretty much going to wear what you see now, right? And no one cares, because I sit in the back and I don't do much. You know what I mean? I'm not that far at the front, so I kind of had that anonymity a little bit, kind of on that, which is really, which is nice. But so we do, but we pride ourselves on the fact that we play the songs really well, you know, and it doesn't matter, like with these things for me, it's not about being them, because people that come to see you, they have their own image of what Oasis are and what they were to them, right? So for me, like, it's like instantly being transported back into my bedroom, when I'm listening to it on my stereo, like playing it full blast when, I was unemployed, right? And all the parents weren't home. And so I was just like, playing it on repeat. And that's my image of, and that's what I hear whenever I hear any of those songs. And everyone's going to have their moment of that, right? Whether you went to Nebworth, whether you saw them somewhere else or whatever. So almost like, they're almost not even there to see you, really. They're there to relive that. You're a
conduit almost.
Yeah.
And the danger is, if you do go down that route of trying to imitate, if you don't pull it off, you look even worse.
Exactly.
You're like, if you're trying to be the imitation band, it doesn't quite work. It looks worse than actually just going and playing music, which is, like you say, because you do get bands that do try that, and you just go, he was trying way too hard. He was a bit of a dick.
We saw one at V, do you remember? No Oasis.
And
they didn't go down well. Because he was Scottish, wasn't he? And he was, I don't think it was their music, when I was playing, it was like the stuff he was saying in between the songs. He was trying to be Liam.
That's what I mean.
And that's when it just sort of went wrong. And I think after that, there was no way back. Yeah.
And that was it. Unfortunately, once the illusion's been shattered, right? That's it for the remainder of the show. You're just like, oh, they're, and I completely agree. I've seen other Oasis tribute bands where they tried and they've not quite got it, and like, don't get me wrong, they're much more successful than we are, right? So like, they probably have more.
There's something in it, but
exactly.
It's not necessarily for you guys.
But it's not. Yeah, so we but being from where we are, right? No one wants the cheesy cringe like round here, right? You don't want to be that person. So we just kind of took the decision of, we'll just do our best and we'll play it as best we can. We'll do what we need to do to say we're an Oasis tribute band and market ourselves as such. But I'd say we're a band, that play Oasis really well, and love it, and want to give everyone that experience, not the cheesy,
Absolutely.
So that's
understood. So where could people find more information then, theoretically, if they wanted to find out about you guys as Shoasis, or even the gig itself? Have you got Facebook?
We have Facebook. I understand.
You're not part of the marketing team.
Yeah, well, believe it or not, I work in IT for a living, right? But social media is just beyond me. I don't understand all this talking. TikTok's the thing that gets me. It's like, what's that? Like, I was talking to you about it. Like, what am I taking a picture of? Yeah. What have I got to do with this?
Gus.
Don't understand.
Gus.
Always take a picture of Gus.
Yeah, exactly.
30 seconds of Gus.
Go viral.
Always got that
go
smile
viral
on his
with
face.
Gus.
I need more Gus. I mean, gas in it. It really hurt, Jim. I've never been in so much pain.
Taking Gus?
Yeah. I was going to say, He's a big boy.
You got to spit on it first, Gav. Come on. Yeah. Honestly, it's not your first rodeo.
Oh, the problem was after you took my ankle out, you then spat on me because you thought that was going to help. The damage has already been done.
I looked down and went, oh yeah, I suppose I should help him.
Ooh. It does look broke.
It does look broken. That shouldn't be pointing that way.
Yeah, I think your first words were, "Why did you do that?"
I definitely
seeing a different side to Jimmy.
Shift the blame. I mean, he kicked the bottom of my foot, just to be clear.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, I think
the top of his foot is
you were
very
going for a shot. You're going for a shot on goal, and I tried to block it, and I put my foot in the way, and I took the full.
Seen Jim shooting, just let him shoot, mate.
Exactly, yeah.
He weren't troubling anyone.
The best thing is, just let me do it. The safest place is the goalkeeper.
Have you seen the size of this guy's calves? You don't block them calves.
Don't get away with that. It's foolish. It's a fool's errand, still. You know
exactly.
that.
It wasn't until after I realised it was the equivalent of...
they're like actual real calves, as in like cows give birth to.
Two baby cows.
That's what they
down
are.
the backs of my shins. There's a certain girth, for sure. Let's stop talking about my girth and get back to the guests. Less girth, more girth.
Facebook, yeah. So
that was it.
I think if you
there's a question.
want to find out more about Shoasis on Facebook, it's facebook.com/Shoasis Tribute.
Sounds easy to remember.
There are 2 pages. Jim kind of mentioned we had, unfortunately, we got hacked a few years back and rendered our old page useless, and it's kind of just one of those dead pages now that no one runs it or whatever, but because there was no admin, Facebook just don't allow you to have it back.
Okay.
So it's kind of there. Yeah.
So
what's really sad, it's got more fans than we have.
Oh no!
So we need to get you back at least level with the old page.
This is it.
If not more. So
you guys wouldn't mind jumping on and leaving us a like.
Absolutely. Like and follow, as they say.
We're losing to ourselves.
With the second most popular Shoasis band by the same name. How is it possible?
Exist anymore.
Yeah, oh no.
And they're not gigging anymore. What the hell's going wrong? So definitely get out there and like and follow on Facebook. And then so anything after the 19th?
So
Leigh,
after the 19th, I think we tend to sit, because we're all family men as well. So we don't, we're not. We work hard. We give good shows, but we don't do as much as probably like a band in our position probably could do if they really wanted to. So we kind of tend to do 1 a month, and then in the summer that might be like sort of 2 a month when it's festival season, because we want to do a bit more on that. So we got November gig, which is on the 19th, and then December we've got our Christmas gig, Christmas extravaganza, and I think that's the 17th of December, and we're doing that at Canvey Football Club.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
So that's always a really good. It's a really good one. It's quite a good venue, and we've played there a few times, and they're really good, and we go down well there, which is nice. But again, because we have been slow to get back on the horse, it's kind of now we're looking at next year and bookings, and I think we're doing a showcase for Butlins or something like. So I think.
Starting to ramp up.
Yeah, exactly. We're kind of looking at kind of getting back to that point, right? Once it's moving, it's kind of really easy to kind of get it going, but getting it started again,
the wheels
it's
turning
kind
again.
of big, big effort.
Yeah, especially life gets in the way and all that.
Yes, if people could stop getting sick,
it would be really helpful, wouldn't it? Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, what songs can we expect from your good self this evening? Because I think you are going to play a couple of bits for us. What can we?
I've got a couple of. I mentioned before, I spent like a summer playing Oasis and Travis.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to go with tonight. I thought, if I'm thinking about that, and it made me think about what I was doing at around sort of those times. So I kind of being noughties that we're talking about, I went with Oasis on the latest. So we're going to do Little by Little.
Lovely.
By Oasis tonight. And then on the cusp, 1999. Yeah.
Just
on the cusp.
Over. We'll take it.
That may have been the release date, but I didn't play it.
Don't worry, there'll be a Japanese
after.
release or something that Phil will always wangle in, or Del wangles in.
So that's going to be Why Does It Always Rain on Me? Classic Travis one.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
And we'll give those a go, shall
Give
we?
it a bash.
Sounds
capture
good.
the magic.
Blended stuff. Well, we should look forward to those. Any questions for our guest in the meantime, gentlemen?
Have you got Gus's number? I think that's what
we'll pick that up off air. It might get a bit racy.
My wife is constantly having to block him on social media. Keeps creating new accounts, does Gus?
Sly little fucker. But once he's tasted, he never wants to go back. Anything for our guest, Mr. Dello? That's been nagging at you.
No, I think it's been all covered, and like I say, Gus, he sounds like the man, doesn't he?
We'll all get that number and we'll fight for it.
Yeah, mate, yeah. all a bit low on Gus.
Blended. Well, for the meantime, thank you very much, Mr. P.
Cheers. Thank you very much for having me.
Man.
Cool.
This is Little by Little. People fight for our existence. Don't claim to be perfect, but we're free. We dream our dreams alone with no resistance, fading like the stars we wish to be. You know I didn't mean what I just said, but my God woke up on the wrong side of his his bed, and it just don't matter now, 'cause little by little I give you everything you ever dreamed of. And little by little the wheels of your life have slowly fallen off. And little by little you had to give it all in all your life. And all the time I just ask myself, why are you really here? True perfection has to be imperfect. I know that sounds foolish, but it's true. The day has come and now you'll have to accept the life inside your head we give to you. You know I didn't mean what I just said, but my God woke up on the wrong side of his bed. And it just don't matter now, 'cause little by little I give you everything you ever dreamed of. And little by little the wheels of your life have slowly fallen off. And little by little you had to give it all in all your life. And all the time I just ask myself, why are you really here? Just ask myself why you're really here. Why am I really here? Why am I really here?
Okay, so we are back with our special guest, Mr. Gavin Plucknett of Shoasis fame, and we're going to strand you, Gavin, for the next few minutes on Desert Island Dicks. So you know the format. We're going to strand you on a mythical, is that the right word, mythical?
Yeah.
Pretend. Desert Island back in the the noughties even. I keep getting that wrong. 2004. Should know where I am by now. And we're just going to give you a little probing. So are you ready?
I am.
Brace yourself. We're coming in hard. So first question for start for 10. What noughties Richard or Dick would you like to be stranded on this mythical island with?
Oh, well. Turns out Gus's last name was Richards.
Hey!
Oh, yes.
Gus Richards.
Gus Richards.
Love a recurring
Facebook gag.
That's all you need.
I was thinking about this one, and you know, I was throwing a few ideas backwards and forwards with Jim, and you know, I was really unoriginal kind of with it. But I think what I've settled on, and I kind of just stopped mentioning them in the end because I'd rather just not know, right? And just kind of name one. But I think I'd go with Richard Pryor. I think, yeah, would be a good one.
Richie Pryor.
So, you know, that was I took the noughties because he died in 2005.
Yeah,
you know, so he was
popular choice.
The decade was out,
especially with musicians as well.
Yeah, it does seem to be actually that way, doesn't it?
I think just the man, there was just so much to him, right? And it was, you know, there was everything there, and you just kind of feel like he'd always have something to say, and you'd never, you know, even in the darkest times, right, and things are really low, he'd managed to make you laugh, right? Like, as long as the final thing that happened to me was laughter before before kicking a bucket on this desert island. I think that'd be.
You're assuming you're not getting off this thing.
Oh,
You're thinking there's no rescue in sight, perhaps.
Oh man, yeah, I'm expecting delirium and heat stroke and Wilson.
There is a lot. Yeah,
we've kind of spoken.
Wow,
about
this
with,
is
with Mr. Pryor anyway.
Yeah,
so
it's
are you Pryor when he's cold turkey in? Is he through the worst of it and he's back to happy rich, or?
Well, if he's naughties, also he's in a wheelchair, isn't he?
That's going to be
You can't
tough
push him
on
around on
isn't
the
it?
beach, can you?
So
Yeah,
essentially, you
it's
become
like,
a
yeah,
carer. What you've done is land yourself on a desert
Yeah.
island, hot, sweaty, and you got to push a guy around.
Yeah.
You can't push wheelchairs on
in a
beaches.
chair.
No,
Yeah, that'd be.
Drag it backwards.
You just have to.
Phil's an expert, Al.
Hey, you remember the prams?
A wheelchair
the old
expert.
Prams, and it's like
I remember the
dragging
prams.
Do you remember prams?
Prams.
Oh, Grandad over
You
there.
remember the old prams?
Do you remember
Is it
perambulators? Oh yeah, well, it's a very popular choice.
Fuck buggers, I love prams.
Can't argue with the answer. Really can't.
You're
That's
right.
right,
There's no
yes.
pushing him around, and it literally just. I'm sorry, mate.
Yeah, tip him
Yeah,
out,
tip
him over,
leave him where he
And
is.
then drag him.
there-
Drag him wherever
Also,
he needs to go.
the way you're talking about it is like a standard NHS sort of like wheelchair. Now, I'm pretty sure he's got some money to get like the pretty good electric
Yeah,
one.
he might have.
This
Yeah.
could be even
Do
worse.
they have wheelchairs
Is
that
it?
walk on sand? Is that?
Caterpillar.
I know, this guy has skis on it.
Proper
Tracks.
job, yeah, like a little mini tank.
Do you know
just
what?
rumbling along.
If he's got that, then we wouldn't have to worry because I'm sure he's got the button right that just the inflatable would come out and off we'd sail.
The
It
James
just
Bond.
Yeah. The shortest desert island dicks ever.
20
turn on the
minutes.
rocket
I don't
booster.
fancy
Yeah.
this. Rich, load it up. We're off.
It's getting
bloody out of
tedious.
It's been 20 minutes. I'm Becky. Let's go. I'm going to see a
to the
KFC
shop.
from here.
Yeah, okay.
I just like the idea of, just our lowest point deciding that the best thing to do would be to completely reenact Hear No Evil, See No Evil.
What's Is that the one for you that stands out?
There's so many good ones. Even when he was in Superman 3, right? Like his character in that was the only reason I watched it.
Well, do you know that it was actually written for him, that film?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's actually Christopher Reeve was just almost like a bit
Yeah.
part.
Well,
Even though
it-
it's Superman 3,
it's
it's actually,
all
yeah.
about
It
Pryor.
shows, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It really
yeah,
does
100%,
show in
yeah.
that one. But then this is why Superman films are really hard to get through, right?
Yeah.
Because a man that can do everything is really boring to watch.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Especially when he spends half of it just horizontal, like with the background
you're right.
speeding past.
It's all the side
Yeah.
projects, isn't it, really? That's what makes it interesting, yeah. Very true, mate, very true. Well, good shout. Good starter for 10, definitely. Let's move on to music in that case from the noughties. So you've got one album and one album only that will play every night as you and Mr. Pryor snuggle up under the stars, if you've stayed on the island for more than 8 minutes. What's that album? There might have been maybe one that bubbled under.
Yeah, that had everything, right? And I think you mentioned this one before on one of the ones. It had been Hybrid Theory.
Oh yeah, for Linkin
me,
Park.
Linkin Park. Like that album was so good. I think they managed to re-release it like 5 times or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
like,
they got their
just
money's worth
ever
out of it,
so
didn't they?
slightly different.
Tweak it.
Yeah. We stuck like a bit of echo on this song, right? And
Yeah,
listen,
buy it
that's-
again.
But that's how good they were.
Yeah.
You know, it was like you say, it was new. You know what I mean? It was like kind of that fusion that just hadn't been heard before. And for me, it just had every emotion. All the songs were slightly different, right?
Yeah.
And it carried so much in it. So I feel like there was something for everyone in that album. And being an album that you could just listen to from track 1 to the end without feeling the need to skip a track. Very, very few albums in this world, right, where for you personally, you don't need to skip a single track.
Actually,
In fact, it's even sacrilege if someone reaches over to try. You're like,
Yeah, so
oh,
whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you feel that strongly about it, then it's an obvious choice, I suppose,
that's it.
isn't
I
it?
mean, Jagged Little Pill was another one for those for me. Like that was
Okay, yeah.
one of the ones where I start to finish don't even dare reach for the dial.
Yeah, good album.
Yeah.
Fair dues, can't argue with that. How about we move on to the visual side of things? So you've got one movie that is your pre-bedtime ritual. You watch that and it sends you off to the land of Nod. What's that film, Dev?
I'm going to go with Donnie Darko.
Nice.
Ooh, that's an intriguing
That's
little
deep
thought.
and dark
Yeah,
for
isn't it?
for eternity.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Alive.
Like
That
my
is a
soul.
literal rabbit hole to go down.
But it again, that when the first time I watched that, it was such a unique concept for me, you know, and the fact that it was explaining what was happening all along, but yet you still didn't you still didn't realise what was happening until right at the very end, right?
Yeah. Well, what's your take on the ending? What do you think happens?
I think it goes, and then it takes him back, and it starts again. I think that's the loop. Like he's in that forever loop, right? And if it was any different, Fabric of Time would basically cease. I think that's it has to happen that way, kind of thing, you know. And it kind of shows how, although there's that illusion of choice, right, with it all, but there isn't. It's played out, and it has to happen. There's only one way it can end.
I like it. Okay, it's all different from the other sort of.
So
how about yourself?
Different.
I just I don't know.
No,
not. I've had about 3 different. So every time I watch it, it changes. Like I'm not.
It's like parallel universes.
Yeah,
there was loopholes and the wormholes and all that. And
I think I thought. Yeah, one time wormhole. I don't know. Another time, parallel universe. That's a great take as well. I don't know.
It's kind of nice, but you'd like to think in one of those parallel universes, maybe Swayze wasn't a massive pedo.
Well,
it's all we can.
Well, it was the actor.
It's all we can hope.
It just comes out in the actual film. That's what it's explained. It's out in him. It's actually.
I think that was part of it as well, right? The fact that there was he's such an icon. It's like, how could you do that to Swayze? You know, that kind of just pulls you. You know, what I mean, I'll sit there and watch that again, oh.
He wanted it really.
it was his cry for help.
Yeah.
But was it ever actually convicted in it? Wasn't he just rumoured? But then it just.
I thought.
So I watched it recently, and it was like there was a news take on it, and then they burn his house down, don't they, or something?
The house burns, and then from what I think, they find the secret room. Basically, and they find all the videos in it, and then
isn't he being arrested as well?
Yeah, he gets arrested. Yeah, but that's just after a rumour at first, isn't it?
Right. I think they managed to wrap it all up for him in like less than 10 seconds.
Yeah, because you got that montage, haven't you? Where it goes through all the different characters, doesn't it? While it's playing, obviously the song at the end, Mad World, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And you kind of get that. What was it with him? You get that moment. He expresses, everything that's happened in like three facial. Like kind of cues.
Yeah.
You're like, there's like he's like, no, I can get out of this, and then there's like, oh no shit, I can't get out of this, and then there's like, oh fuck, it's over, and then the crazy fanatical lady, right, that doesn't want to believe that it's even capable of it, and kind of whatever.
That's right.
There's a lot of stuff going on with that, and it's for me.
It's a good film.
I was going to say, so if there's about 14 different endings that you can possibly think of, you can just keep watching it and get a different one.
Yeah, you get.
It's a really good film. Yeah, very good.
Yeah,
different
perspective on it every time. Well, not every time, but you're battling to
almost
decide.
Depends on your mood that you watch.
Yeah, a little bit.
It depends how your day with Pryor's been as to what.
Exactly.
You might take that film and stuff,
You might go on the lighter side some days, right? And then other
times
days,
it's been a bad day with Rich.
God damn.
Wow, that's a fine shout thus far. Let's think. You may have even touched on this in sort of our previous chats, but we're going to talk clothing from the noughties.
Yes.
So, is there a full outfit or just a single piece that was your kind of go-to look that you might be sporting?
There was a classic Gav look that everyone knew that they'd be getting. It didn't vary very much between casual and smart either. It was just like
one extra button.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It was very much like that, or like it'd be 3/4 length shorts, typically camo. I would have thought like some kind of beige, right? You don't
be good for the desert.
All about
great for
exactly. If Richard ever really annoyed me, I just camouflage myself.
Just stay perfectly still. He'll never see me.
Yeah, well, he wouldn't be able to do anything about it because he'd be stuck in the sand anyway.
Exactly. Yeah,
just throw coconut saying from a distance.
Yeah.
Okay. So it'd be the 3/4 length camo shorts. I'm wearing Converse today. I couldn't afford Converse back then, so it'd have been like DCs. I typically tend to wear, like kind of got that skater boy look. I guess it would have been. And then if I was going smart, it'd be a a short-sleeved, large check shirt, because obviously after the 90s it was all about the big checks, because small checks were no longer acceptable.
Absolutely.
You didn't want to dare turn up somewhere with, like, in the 90s, I remember it's like the smaller the checks,
So you think you're always having some form of
better it was.
seizure looking at it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, you're almost magic eye t-shirts. Right.
It's like Truman Show.
Yeah, exactly. And then when you got into the noughties, the checks become massive.
Yeah. That's how you can define a whole decade. Just the size of the check on the shirt.
Small check, large check.
Sounds
Never
reasonable.
any money.
And what made it smart casual? What was the more casual look then? Just one extra button open.
It'd have been it'd have been a t-shirt, right?
Band t-shirt.
Yeah, exactly. Some kind of t-shirt.
Fair dues. Makes sense when you're out in the sunshine.
Yeah.
Okay, nice, looking good. So let's hope that this outfit is going to lure in your noughties crush.
Oh.
So how did you go feeling a crush from that decade?
Oh,
was there a particular person that stood out for you?
So many. So many.
How do I get through this without getting divorced?
Exactly. Well, I actually asked Anna. I said to my wife, I was like,
which one of these 77 can I
Who
use?
do I always go on about?
Whose name do I shout out?
I've spent 2 days ranking them all in order.
So you did what?
Wow.
You did 2 days what?
ranking,
that's what I
Just to
all in order.
clarify.
There was definite
Right.
R there.
Definitely.
I will never mispronunciate anything ever again.
So after your extensive research of all back
exactly.
catalogues of FHM, where did you...
That'd be fucked up.
Anna
though,
then
if-
spent like a day. Go on.
If you spent 2 days working over, you explained it to your wife. You rang up work.
Yeah.
I've got to take 2 days annual
I've
leave.
got
I've got
personal
podcasts
Just go,
coming up.
yeah, I've got
guys.
some
I've got some research to
I've
do.
got a
you
podcast to
doing?
do, so I'm really going to have to get some calluses.
Your wife Anna's coming in. Have you decided yet?
I've come out. I've lost loads of weight. Really husky
I'm a
voice.
funny shape.
Just
Help
like-
me.
yeah,
I
exactly.
really need a decision on this now, love.
Did you really need to do that, Gavin?
Yeah.
It's like, no one's saying I'm not thorough.
Okay.
Is that-
So at the end of all this ranking...
Your son as well, like, so where's Dad?
yeah.
Is he
We
come
missed
to my
Daddy.
show?
He's next door. You can't go in there. I don't get it.
Oh dear, no, I'm steering away.
Yeah,
Steering
sorry.
away.
Okay, veer away from the light. Come towards me, Gav.
Going back to
My
Gus.
voice is safe. My voice is safe.
When the microphones are off, I'll follow that tangent all day long, right? But not now.
No.
So where did you end up in?
I landed on Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Oh,
Cheeky.
Yeah,
In
Well,
yeah,
Buffy,
at the time,
yeah.
Buffy, man, like what a show! I was a massive fan, and I had nothing. I didn't work very much in the noughties, I'll be honest with you. But yeah, I bought a lot of DVDs.
Okay.
hi, fair play.
Someone
got
else
through
went.
some
So
stuff
we had
else.
time.
Yeah,
Sarah
someone
Michelle
else
Gellar.
did.
They were going on about Buffy. I was David and Sean. Yeah,
Yeah.
They're big
Yeah.
Buffy fans as well.
Yeah.
I was never really into it myself, but
Did they both choose
I think it was.
I think they
I
did.
think they do actually. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
tag team, brother tag team.
It was round about the cusp, right? There was like there was a period of time, and if you were, I think it was like if you were like a year or two either side of it, right? It was the difference between being like it just being part of your culture, or
Yeah.
or not
Properly-
kind of being it. I
properly
missed
immersed.
Pokemon the first time round it come round, but I'm getting to relive that all again with my son, which is amazing. I spend more money on Pokemon cards now than I
Ever
think I've
would
ever
have
spent
done.
on any hobby I've ever had ever.
It's not even yours.
Yeah. And now it's just got to the point where he's just so blasé about it, or he's like, I didn't even get a good one in that one. And he just like he'll put the card. I'm like, that's hard-earned money right there, son.
Yeah, tell you wouldn't take that for granted, Sarah Michelle Gellar.
No.
Grateful lady.
What's the chat up line?
Yeah, what were you like with the birds? Were you a
We're still on the island, are we?
still on
yeah,
there, so you can be as you don't have to make it specific to that, but
We have all the time in the world, and I can wait. Really?
I will wear you down.
I'll wear you
Down.
Yeah, until there's only a handful of coconuts left.
it's either me or Pryor, and he's got 4 years left.
Yeah, exactly.
The problem is,
man.
That ain't working.
even if he'd gone early, it'd still be prior.
I'm still coming second in this race as well now. Oh, it's just bad. Well, it's not bad, is it? It's like, I'm going nowhere.
Yeah.
You'll be back. I know the odds are in my favour. Don't you worry.
I'd never I'd probably, in all seriousness, never be able to bring myself to get the courage to say anything to her. She'd think we were really unfriendly. Like, there's only 3 of us on this, and like the 2 blokes like in their boys' club won't even talk to me because I'm a woman. It's like, it's not. I absolutely love you. I'm just too scared to say a word.
I'm in a 2-horse race, and I'm worried about finishing second.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That sounds fair. I'd feel the same way myself.
Maybe, when we bury him, his death will bring us closer together.
Fingers crossed. This will be the turning point in our relationship.
Clearly outlived me.
100%. He's pickled. Yeah. All right, let's think about someone else that might end up on the island with you. It's going to be your mortal enemy, essentially. Who wouldn't you want to appear? Who wound you up from that decade? In the 90s, we had things like Richard Madeley and Jim Carrey, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Who did that for you in the noughties?
Russell Brand, man, because he's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, slowly had his moments, right, before he's kind of reached where he is now. And actually now I find it quite tolerable. It's very opinionated still, but he's at least trying to do it for a greater good, right? To kind of to enlighten others and kind of have whatever. But back in the day, the guy was such a tosser.
What kind of era are we talking? Big brand? Are we like TRL type?
Yeah,
this is the era when he done that prank with Jonathan Ross on BBC Radio, wasn't it?
With John Sessions.
Yeah.
No, was it?
Manuel, wasn't it?
Yeah, the
granddaughter, wasn't it?
His daughter, yeah.
that was like early 2000s.
There's kind of that, and you had that because he gained a bit of popularity, didn't he? Like kind of like around that, and like you say, he was doing that, and that's fine. But I think I almost kind of wrote him out of my life, right? But like almost kind of a bit before then, like sort of like you say, like
ahead of the curve.
Yeah. Just because you just like some people get right under your skin sometimes.
Was it when he was doing like Big Brother's Little Brother?
Yeah, just that, and like when he was desperately trying to be noticed. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And like, and then he got a bit of fame, and then he thought his opinion was really.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's got like greater gravitas and stuff. Yeah.
He'd be a real threat with Sarah Michelle Gellar as well.
Oh, right, you'd never be able to get a word in, would you? Although it may work in your
third now. That's terrible.
But you have that moment, don't you, where you kind of go, look, if I just sit here and say nothing, like maybe at some point she'll come over and go, is this guy ever going to shut up?
One of us two is going to have to strangle him in his sleep because
I reckon
he's killing us.
What do you reckon about him and Pryor though? They're going to get on because they're comedians. They got the comedians are ex-addicts.
I think Pryor would hate him. It'd be too much for Pryor.
Someone's struggle will always be the greatest struggle.
Like,
and then when you get there, 2 people of that caliber, or 2 people that are in show business like that, like there's a need for a certain amount of attention. Yeah. Right? So there's always going to be
fighting each other.
But I guess all that means is that there's going to be more food for me when it ends.
Yeah. Okay.
Hardly any Russell Brand.
Yeah.
Don't reckon Pryor and Pryor and Pace. I almost said I was like going Hale and Pace or something like that. Pryor and Brand. You don't reckon it'll be a double act or something, yeah.
Oh, could you imagine if they did there was a spark between them and they joined forces, and then all of a sudden I wasn't allowed to join in any of the recreations anymore because they'd
be just getting their dicks out all the time, talking about Mr.
You in the corner watching Donnie Darko,
just staring at Sarah Michelle Gellar. Oh no! I've literally managed to create my own personal hell. No one likes me. No one's talking to me. I'm on my own in the corner.
We've done our job.
It sounds like the noughties all over again.
Thanks for coming. Hope you feel better.
He's done it to another bloody guest. He's depressed another one. Well, let's see if we can lure you back, Gav, with the final question. There's a pot noodle that washes up on the shore, and you love a pot noodle. Who doesn't? Number 1, what flavour are you hoping washes up? And number 2, what boy band member are you hoping isn't going to walk round the corner and have his eyes also on that pot noodle to the point that you have to fight to the death?
So I went through. I went through all the flavours. Like there's a plethora of flavours to choose from. I was like,
2 days wanking.
Too many to name.
Really went to town.
4 days pot noodles.
Literally that line from The Office where it
for
said
10 years just to answer this question. I come to it. I was like, if this is it's got to be the original, it's got to be beef and tomato.
Yeah, a lot of people go beef and tomato, don't they?
Yeah, they keep it.
I do like beef and tomato, yeah.
Keep it on that level.
It's good. I always like, with beef and tomato, I always like to just add a little bit extra ketchup.
Oh,
Like them was available in the packet.
Intriguing.
You know, just for...
Well, this is
I do that
Scott
with the chicken and
fills-
mushroom. I put
fills
extra
attention.
soy sauce in it. Yeah. They don't give enough, do they?
No. Just enough to mask what you're eating.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
My depression. So, so what naughty's boy band member is going to feel your wrath if he tries to take this pot noodle away?
Well, I was thinking, like, rather than who would get the wrath right, I was thinking who could I beat in a fight.
Yeah.
You've taken it out.
So I was like,
Phil
I'm
went
hungry.
this way with his 90s
I really
version.
want this pot noodle.
He took on the 11-year-old drummer from Hanson, knowing he could get a win out of it. So you've gone down the same pathway. So who's going to get yours?
I was thinking like maybe Brian Harvey from E17.
Oh, really?
Just because
I reckon he's
I saw a
quite
picture of him.
handy. You would think
back
he's
in the
old.
day it would have been, but I kind of feel like
Absolutely off his face on ease, and
Yeah.
he's probably run
Yeah.
himself over with his own car again, hasn't he?
Yeah, what was it, jacket potato?
That's what it was, wasn't he? He just got he got so hyped up.
Just
on
laying
Jack
behind,
and Potato.
laying behind Richard Pryor's wheelchair and see what happens.
yeah, exactly, yeah. Why runs him up, yeah.
I kind of took the I was thinking like maybe his health's probably not great and I might win the race.
I'm looking for a boy band member with dubious health. There's not a big list, so you went with the obvious. Okay. That's a fair shout. Okay.
And ultimately, if he did want to give me a rendition, I loved them when they were out, mate. Like, you know, Steam.
Now, I had them as one of my favourite albums of the first. Was it 94?
What?
I think I had them down,
around that,
didn't I?
wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah,
A little surprise.
What song would you like to drown into, Gav? What A17?
It'd have to be Stay Another Day, wouldn't it? Just that moment when the last bubbles are coming into the surface and all you hear is the bells going ding, 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 ding.
As you finish off with the line, outside it's raining, but inside it's wet. And then he goes under it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. What a way to go, Brian.
Nice, mate.
Oh, dear.
That is
good.
Steam like a cream dream, never stop rising.
Oh,
This is it.
word. I thought we were about to get a third rendition.
spit in the bars. Spit in the bars.
Beautiful. Well, that is your time on the desert islands. Thank you very much. We hope you get rescued. But until then, enjoy Richard Pryor. And all those that say
more Sarah Michelle Gellar, some of those.
Well,
That's
See if you
what
can
Jim's
build up.
thinking about Pryor.
I really am. I'm focused on Pryor. I've really got to start working out my priorities list, haven't I? Priorities list. Well, that is your time on Desert Island Dicks. Okay, we rumble on with our special guest, Mr. Gavin Plucknett of Shoasis fame. Tickets still available for the 19th of November. Plug. And we're going to talk to you, Gav, about your films and music choices of the noughties. So we're going to go with films first, we think. Do you have a top three and anything that didn't quite make it? Because obviously we appreciate that a decade is a large expanse of time. Yeah. So there might have been things that you would have liked to put in a top five, for example. So give us your three and anything else that you might want to give a little nod to.
Yeah, I'm glad it wasn't more than three.
Oh, okay, fine. In that case, scratch that last 30 seconds in that case.
I've had some really kind of strange ones. So I'm not big into intense drama, right? So for me, it's not about Oscar movies. You know, I always feel they're like the 3-hour epics, right? That, I didn't have the concentration for it for more than anything.
Sounds fair.
I've got up there one of them. I had Zoolander.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love it.
You can't whack a bit of Zoolander, just mindless.
Absolutely loved it.
Beautiful.
So that that had its time. Like just who doesn't want to have a petrol fight with their friends?
Amazing. Orange flavour frappuccinos. It's amazing. It's just so moronic.
Yeah,
but so good.
And that's it. I'm very much for the film where I don't have to think too much, and it just every now and again it hits the buzzer. I'm like endorphins.
Yeah, it was a very stupid, silly film, wasn't it? Yeah. But they are good.
They work. They absolutely work, didn't they?
It's just the fact of fashion. Just the fact of
it was ripe for absolute because it was all about that look and feel of that
whole
that decade, wasn't it? It was all about
very vain,
supermodels,
self-indulgent.
So it was ripe for being. Absolutely
and you had
really
your sort of standard, who was Fabio and all the male models of the time.
Yeah,
so it's
Hans,
just,
didn't you? Who was
mate.
But anything with Will Ferrell is pretty much
Yeah,
up
which is
there
great
anyway,
as
isn't it?
well.
He was riding that
Mugatu,
rich vein
wasn't he? Or-
full. Yeah, great shout.
Yeah.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah.
Can't argue that at all, mate.
And then I kind of this was one I was like, I'm not sure I want to admit, but
Now see, we're
Nick
intrigued.
Cage, he done National Treasure.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
okay.
Family movie,
Yeah.
you know, but kind of had, you know, a bit of mystery, bit of fun, bit of silliness, you know, completely ludicrous kind of concept, you know, and then you find buried treasure at the end of it. It's basically like, you know, Naughty's Goonies.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's exactly that,
it's-
isn't it? Yeah. Is that something that you watched then, or have you come to it since having like the family and stuff?
My kids are still a bit too young, so we
Okay.
don't. We
So this
kinda,
is a your choice.
So this is a me
Right,
choice, yeah. Like before, no one had to. No one had
PC,
to
pre-kids.
filter this. Yeah. This is just.
PC, pre-kids. I'm fairly sure kids begins with a K, right? That's enough about my spelling.
Ask Patrick
You mentioned
Swayze.
So PK, pre-kids. Okay.
So it was, So there's just, you know, like you say, there's a bit of amazingness about it. You know, completely ludicrous kind of. Chase it to the end, find the buried treasure.
Is it Nicolas Cage being Nicolas Cage?
And Nicolas Cage being Nicolas Cage. Is he?
He does do
is he
Nicolas Cage well, doesn't he?
terribly? Is he terrible or is he a genius? You know, like there's always that, and
I
it's
think there's a discussion to be had, isn't there?
Yeah. Some of the films is amazing. In others, he's, you're right, 100%. Yeah, can't put my finger on it. Man.
He's an enigma.
He
That's
is
what it is.
100%.
So-
Would you
But I'll watch him in
um,
anything he's in. You know, it's,
would you let him have a sleepover at your house?
Ooh, that is
And if so, would he get top bunk?
See, it's always dealt with the probing questions, isn't it? Would he get the top bunk?
The important questions, I'd like to say.
I've been brought up with, you know, when you
Never to let Nicolas Cage.
I was brought up very strictly, but like, you know, my mum always taught me that if Nicolas Cage ever come round, he gets top bunk. Been preparing for it my whole life.
Any day now, he's going to knock on that bloody door. And I've got that top bunk
There's
made
the
up.
room no one's allowed to go in, right? That has the bunk bed in it. You know?
With his name on it.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
Cage.
With the national
everyone's got
treasure
it.
bed sheets.
Ghost Rider. With the table lamp and stuff.
You're my national treasure, Nick Cage. Don't ever change.
There's the line.
The pillow's like a replica of the pavement with his star on it. It's like, Nicolas
beautiful.
Cage. Oh,
We've really overthought this about Nick Cage, haven't we?
yeah.
But
Yeah.
it deserves it. He deserves
But
it.
this is what happens when you talk about Nick Cage, right? You go, oh, Nick Cage, but then all of a sudden, he's
Absolutely, yeah.
he's staying at your house.
Yeah.
Staying at your
He's getting top bloody bunk is what he's getting.
Top bunk. Oh, yeah. Top bunk. Yeah, top. Or,
Top man, top
or
bunk.
Cage in a cage. Would you have Cage in a cage?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime
swap.
you want a bit of cage, you can just pop out to the garage.
Yeah, or just keep it like a budgie in the cage. Would you
in the
have-
living
It's a-
room.
Yeah, like you'd be permanently there.
But with a
permanent
massive
fixture.
mirror so he can just look at himself.
Look at other
Just,
cage.
like,
Yeah,
think he's got an extra Nicolas
extra
Cage.
cage.
Yeah.
He's just
Massive
got a bit
cuttlefish.
of what was it, cuttlefish?
Yeah, no, just back of that.
Keeping his nose sharp. It's a powerful image. You've really raised some
It
interesting
really
points
is.
there, Gav, with
Really
your
is, yeah.
with your choice. Who thought that would have come up when you said National Treasure?
Oh, yeah. It's,
Okay.
that's it.
It raises
Go on,
some,
Lenny, give Nick
interesting
Cage some more
questions.
birdseed. Is that,
Sprinkle some seed for next. We're off out
go
for 3
change
weeks.
the newspaper.
We're out that seed. Okay. Is it?
Wow.
Touche. All right, so we've got Zoolander and we've got National Treasure.
Yeah.
What is the final
And then
final film that makes
kind of
up
the
the
other way
final?
around. Did you ever The Prestige? You ever see that?
Yeah.
Oh, not you don't mean the video club that was on Bread and Cheese
Christian
Hill, do you?
Bale,
Oh
isn't
no, that's the one I know. Oh,
And Hugh Jackman, isn't it? That's the yeah. Christopher Nolan film, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, that is good, that, isn't it?
That was that was another one, right? Where you could watch that.
Yeah,
and then right at the
typical
end.
Nolan,
Yeah.
trying to the end. Yeah. It's good. I haven't seen it for a long time.
No, I hadn't, and then I think it wasn't quite recently. You know, when you just like scrolling
Yeah.
through Netflix and kind of whatever, you go, "Oh man!" And I always got it confused because there was 2 movies brought out around sort of the same time. There was The Prestige, and then
There's the Edward Norton one, The Illusionist.
The Illusionist.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
So you always
Yeah,
kind
about
of felt,
magicians, like that old century, early
19th,
Victorian, is it?
yeah.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah.
And they were not. It didn't feel like they were so far apart. Right?
No.
So kind of, I think you either watch one or the other.
Yeah.
I I think, you know, kind of at the time I watched it and didn't think much about it, and then caught it again like on Netflix recently, and then just kind of went, oh, actually, I remember how good this was.
Yeah.
Right? And because it was like, you know, because it's all magicians, it's all about the show and the theatre and kind of all that anyway, and just, yeah, Hugh Jackman's like unrelenting need to be better than this guy, right, that drives him to the point of doing some pretty outlandish stuff. It's, for me, that was another good one. I do love a twist, you know.
Best magician film of all time?
No, that's going to be The Magician, I think.
Yeah.
Is that another Will Ferrell movie?
Oh,
is that...
oh really?
I don't know that one.
Is it better than Daniels?
Or the biography.
Biography.
The biopic.
I don't know. I was too busy.
I was going to say, who's playing him?
Samuel Jackson.
It's got to be in him.
Yeah. I've had enough of that goddamn motherfucking Debbie McGee.
You've been fucking stealing my wands, motherfucker.
That is a film we need to finish. And we'll get onto Samuel L's people in the morning. Yeah, definitely. That's quite a three that you've chosen there. There's something for everyone on that
I think
choice.
that's it. I kind of wanted to spread across a lot.
Yeah.
Special mention, anything by the Wayans brothers always gets me. Don't be a menace to South Central while drinking your juice in a hood. Masterpiece in its own right.
Not so much up there with White Chicks then.
Oh no, you kind of take
almost any.
Take that almost anything. Yeah, okay, fine. You know, yeah, anything after the Scary Movie franchise, right?
Okay, perfect. Little nods. Well, let's go from film to music in that case. How did you fare with picking just three albums for a musician? Surely this is a slightly more. Was this a more difficult thing, or was this an easier thing for you to
see? Again,
zero in on?
I kind of. You know, I guess I don't tend to overthink things very much, right? And I just went through it, and in the end, just went, I like that one.
Yeah, the question was three albums. I like three albums.
I quite like three albums. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. There was I didn't think much about like kind of what other people would think about the ones I chose. To be honest,
it's a personal thing. So you go for it.
This is what I like, and if you don't like it,
tough.
Fuck it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, perfect. So what's on this list then, Albine?
So I had. Queens of the Stone Age was on there with Songs for the Deaf.
Yeah.
Obviously, being a massive Grohl fan, Grohl done the drumming on it, and it's the first time in a long time that I got to hear him absolutely let rip, right? And the whole album was just
it's a great album,
absolute like banger after banger. So I enjoyed that. Arcade Fire with their first, was it Funerals?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For me, their best
really
album ever. And again, that's probably because of the time it was released, right, and kind of everything I associate with it. But absolutely love that. And me and Anna both like our favourites. So she kind of come in around sort of Neon Bible sort of time, and then we managed to go and watch them at Hyde Park one time.
Okay.
So we have nice memories.
They were a real hard band to go and see live. I remember trying to go and see them, and you just couldn't get tickets anywhere.
Right, okay.
That was it. We got it. In fact, I think we had the double whammy because I think we had Arcade and Mumford and Sons were playing. Like the same, like they were opening before. So yeah, we were really lucky. It was really good. That we managed to get that. Sorry to.
No.
Yeah,
sorry,
good
band.
Project feels.
You'd probably get tickets now though.
Yeah.
less in demand. But yeah, great album.
Yeah,
great album.
And that's it. Even given kind of everything that is going on around that at the moment, I'll still class Funerals as just. I hadn't heard anything like it for a long time, right? Yeah. And I think to some people, it even took me, you had to adjust your ear, I think, because of what we were so used to listening to at the time. You had to kind of just, it took a little while, and then once you got it, you were like, oh, actually, this is
something,
So that was, so I had that one, and then I'm also a massive Ska fan as well, right? So, I had, was it Newfound Glory were out around the time, right? So it was all sort of like Blink-182, Newfound Glory, all that kind of pop punk kind of stuff. Like loved all that. But it was, I'm trying to think of the one that got me now. Where is it? Goldfinger. Do you know Goldfinger?
No.
They kind of like, what about like Real Big Fish?
Oh yeah.
That kind of thing, like
I used to love
brass section, proper, kind of going like proper kind of
bit of Rancid.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I love a bit of because they start. when I was still early 20s, right? Early 20s, mid 25s. You're still a teenager, like, you know what I mean? You still got a lot of those kind of, and to have some music that, regardless of whatever mood you're in, was able to, it's just naturally so happy.
Perks you up.
Yeah, that it was able to pull you kind of out of any bad mood, right? And it was all really simple melodies. So for someone that liked music, I was able to pick the songs up quite well. And then it was those types of songs where I learned to kind of harmonise with the lead vocals and stuff, because it was so easy just to pick it out of the mix. And you know, who doesn't love listening to trumpets, like kind of giving you some like
it's proper uplifting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's brilliant. So yeah, I kind of like, so yeah, Goldfinger, I think it was called what was it, Cheer Up.
Well, perfect.
I just remember
Perfect
this picture of like a really horrible like clown, like just kind of telling you to cheer up. Like,
Let's check that one
good.
out.
Yeah, check that one out. It's fun.
There's a Real Big Fish album called Cheer Up as well.
Is it? Oh, did I get the?
Hey.
Maybe I got this. I haven't got the albums mixed up with one.
That was the one, because that's the one that I know, because we saw him at Reading in this year, actually.
Yeah, it was actually.
So, yeah. They just come in, because I liked Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, and there was, and they were playing, and I was like, oh, this sounds quite, and then that sounds similar. I don't know.
I had a complete. No. I think you're right. I think it was the Real Big Fish Cheer Up album, actually.
Yeah,
I think I got the complete one. Goldfinger. I'd done Goldfinger. Goldfinger had Goldfinger, which was basically their self-named album,
makes sense.
Which was about 98 though. I think that was like 98. So there was like a period, yeah. So with that, but yeah, that Goldfinger also, they did a cover of 99 Red Balloons,
by Nana,
which is absolutely superb. They even go full German as well.
Delightful. Well, as two people that were heading out to Germany tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Very apt indeed.
Yeah,
We'll see if we can hear that by Umpar or something. I love a bit of Umpar. Beautiful.
Was it Oktoberfest in Munich? Is that still going? Is that just finished?
It's just finished, annoyingly. It's in September and finishes at like the 2nd or 3rd of October. Yeah.
Oh, has it really missed it?
Just missed it, but you know. It's
probably for the best.
It's the home of beer.
Still going to have beer houses and all that.
All the
stuff,
rest of it. So we may be back for the 2005 recording. Who knows? We might not. We might stay out there and make the hose.
Don't feel too sorry for us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but it's a great little trio again. Something for everyone. You really are covering all bases, Gav.
Spread it wide.
Spread it wide. throw enough balls at enough coconuts. Eventually, you win a goldfish. Beautiful. Good work.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, good.
And then Gav, so time for the John Cazale challenge. Have you got your, well, I wouldn't say actor actually, because that's sexist. Let's say artist.
Sure.
Artist. 5 films in a row. Doesn't have to be the first 5 films, but obviously it just has to be in a row. Right.
So I was having a look and kind of keeping it again with the kind of movies that I kind of like. I went with Steve Martin.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Well, this is intriguing.
Yeah, exactly. I like this take.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll be getting the Google up with the Wikipedia page. See what we've got. Far away, Gav. What films have we got?
Starting with the absolute classic Three Amigos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
So what's this, late 80s?
This is 86. And what made me think of Steve Martin was because he recently on Netflix, he's done. They got the new series. It's on Disney.
Disney.
Only Murders in the Building.
It's really good.
It's just absolutely superb. And with Marty Short as well, right? It's kind of just such a great double act on that. So, you know, throw Chevy Chase into it, and it's gold.
Absolutely.
Even though no one wants to work with him anymore, but it's like, you know, the guy's genius. So like Three Amigos, I just forever will just, you know, be amazing. I don't think there's much to say about it. You know, like Steve Martin movies, they're just so well crafted. You know, like the jokes are always there, but it's not just about the cheap laughs either. You know, so I love that. And then you had he was the dentist in Little Shop of Horrors. After that, right? Absolute classic. Of course. After that one, I remember I hadn't seen it for ages, and me and Anna was let's watch Little Shop of Horrors. So. But the version that I found was the original ending. Have you seen it? Where because you know at the end, obviously they have the white picket fence, and
it's quite dark.
Yeah, but the original ending is they all lose. Yeah, the plant eats everyone, and then the plants take over the world.
Yeah,
and I think that was how the Broadway play ended. But when they did it for the movie, they were like, "There's no way we're allowing this," so they made them completely rewrite it, where they had the happy ending at the end.
Hollywood.
Damn Hollywood, ruining things since 1986.
So there was that moment. There was that moment where we got to the end and we both just looked at each other and went, "Do you remember that happening?"
Yeah, that's not quite the happy-go-lucky sing-songy effort.
What is it? So Little Shop of Horrors, which absolute classic. Him on his motorbike, which I always
really
remember.
good.
Which he does the click, then he goes, and then the engine
happens,
stops.
yeah.
Just brilliant. Roxanne.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
So that was he was like playing like a Cyrano de Bergerac character. Wasn't it? Which was awesome.
Is it Andy McDowell's?
No, it's Daryl Hannah.
Daryl Hannah.
That's a good
What's
one,
his
yeah.
name? Gerard.
He's the fireman, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the fire chief.
Fire chief,
Isn't
that's
he?
it, yeah.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah.
That's it. It's kind of making you go.
Yeah, you start going back, don't you, and just reliving the
And after that,
that's
you
a
have
great
Planes,
film.
Trains, and Automobiles.
I just like
Yeah,
that film.
yeah, it's great.
And then
Anything with John
kind of
Candy.
instantly
Strong
think of John
floor
Candy.
so far, isn't it?
It's really good. Nick. Can you imagine if there's he does a little art house thing that ruins the
No.
entire Oh
I
shit!
think I know.
Damn you, Martin! Why do you
Then that
have
was
to go all
followed by a
worthy?
free stint off Broadway.
Oh man,
Yeah. So, oh no.
I think I know what the next one might be, but
Go on.
no, you go with it.
So and then after that we had Dirty Rotten
Yes.
Scoundrels.
Yeah,
That's a great
yeah.
film, actually. Yeah. I love that film.
Ultimate con movie.
Ruprecht or
Yeah.
what it's called. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a great film. I haven't seen that in
It's
ages.
just,
yeah, I love that. Where it's
so
got,
you couldn't get away with that now, right?
No, not at all.
And I think that's it. Wasn't it
a bit-
Melissa
that's-
McCarthy tried to do like they did like a Dirty Rotten
Oh, really?
Scoundrels?
Yeah,
they did.
Yeah, right.
And God
No,
God bless. It's sure it's great, but I just
Yeah.
I ain't gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, they tried all comedy where you had Michael Caine. Obviously, he was the straight guy.
Yeah.
Isn't it? He was still quite funny in it, wasn't he? But
Yeah.
you
when he's
needed that.
whipping-
You
when he's
needed
whipping
that
him.
straight guy in it, didn't you?
When
as
he's,
well? So
when he's pretending to be disabled.
yeah.
He's just whipping him with it.
I ain't seen that. I'll have to. Well, I did.
And he's just like he has to take it, right? Yeah.
Can you feel anything?
No.
Oh.
Because he's like the German psychiatrist as
That's
well,
it,
isn't he?
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
like,
it.
oh
Oh, man.
man, just
There's so many of those,
when
isn't
he's
there?
got he's got the corks on the end of forks, and he's stabbing himself in the eye because it's just ridiculous. It's brilliant, yeah.
and
That's
just
a good film. That's a good list.
The absolute,
That is a good
the
list.
beautiful
Yeah.
thing is like all of that. You see how all they're doing to try and make it seem real, and all the time she's like, you know,
She's conning them,
She's
isn't she?
conning
Yeah,
them,
she's
yeah,
conning
but
them, yeah.
she knows it's all just fake. So like, there must be moments, right, when that's happening where it's just kind of like,
Yeah.
these guys are fucking nuts, right? Like, you know, it's all about the con, but still, man, there's
They end up working together, don't they?
Yeah.
yeah, that's it. And then they all
Yeah, good film, isn't it?
all the kind of basis for things like you see. What was the one with The Rock in it recently? Like the treasure, where he's like on the island or whatever.
Oh, that red
Right.
something was
Yeah.
it with Ryan Reynolds and that? Was it that
Yeah,
one?
that's it.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
he
Gal
turns
Gadot.
out to be
Yeah.
the, you know, he turns out to be the bad guy, and then they all kind of end up, although not friends.
Yeah.
Kind of, it's
Yeah.
like that's all just kind of, it's all just ripping off Dirty Rotten
It's
Scoundrels.
always
right?
it always comes back to Kane, doesn't it? It's always a little Kane of mine. So Three Amigos, Little Shop of Horrors, Roxanne, Planes, Trains, it checks out.
Yeah, that's
It checks out. It's
Yeah,
all
it's
been
very good.
verified. That's a great list.
I even would have gone one more after that and said Parenthood was an absolutely classic
Yeah.
one as well. You know, you had Keanu Reeves in it, like young
yeah,
Keanu
he throws a
Reeves.
sixth in there.
Rick Moranis again. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
so
Wacky, we had a young Leaf Phoenix as he was then, wasn't it?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Leaf. When did he upgrade himself?
Don't know.
Oh,
He was Leaf originally, wasn't
is it?
he? Leaf Phoenix, yeah.
Yeah. How'd you go? Yeah. How'd you go Leaf to Joaquin?
Dunno.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Oh, was it? Did he do it after his brother died? I'm not sure. Was that the reason? I can't remember. But yeah, anyway. But yeah, he was in that one. Yeah, young. He was a young one in that one.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he was the young kid, right, that kept going up to his room.
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
before
the
he sat
attitude,
wrong with
didn't
him,
he?
and
Yeah.
it just turns out he was watching lots of porn.
Yeah, yeah.
He weren't quite doing it right. He needed Keanu Reeves to set him straight.
Don't we all? Don't we all? So that's 6 you're giving us, Gav. That is
It's
Yeah, that's a good run.
Yeah, it's
that is a fine run. Can't argue with that. It's been verified. He's on the podium.
Yeah.
We've had a couple that have fallen, haven't we? Actually, with the
Yeah, well,
challenge, they've fallen by the wayside.
we'll have to get them all up at the end, collate them all together, and then see
and rank them. Just make sure the old teeth are in. Rank them.
Yeah. Now, that's a good list. Well done. I like it.
Yeah, well done.
Brilliant.
Homework done.
Good.
Why does it always rain on me by Travis? Sleep tonight. Everybody's saying everything is alright. Still I can't close my eyes. I'm seeing the tunnel at the end of all these lights. Sunny days. Where have you gone? I get the strangest feeling you belong. Why does it always rain on me? Is it because I lied when I was 17? Why does it always rain on me? Even when the sun is shining, I can't avoid the lightning. I can't stand myself. I'm being held up by invisible men. Still I fall the shelf when I got my mind on something else. Sunny days, oh, have you gone? I get the strangest feeling you belong. Why does it always rain on me? Is it because I lied when I was 17? Why does it always rain on me? Even when the sun is shining, I can't avoid the lightning. Oh, where did the blue sky go? Oh, why is it raining so cold? So cold. I can't sleep tonight. Everybody's saying everything is alright. Still I can't close my eyes. I'm seeing the tunnel at the end of all these lights. Sunny days. Oh, where have you gone? I get the strangest feeling you belong. Why does it always rain on me? Is it because I lied when I was 17? Why does it always rain on me? Even when the sun is shining, I can't avoid the lightning. Oh, where did the blue sky go? Oh, why is it raining so cold? So cold. Why does it always rain on me? Is it because I lied when I was 17? Why does it always rain on me? Even when the sun is shining, I can't avoid the lightning. Why does it always rain on me? Why does it always rain on? Thank you.
They say that all good things must come to an end, and the same is true with podcasts. So that is your lot. Stop being greedy. Go and talk to your husband or wife, your kids, a friend, your cellmate, maybe a counsellor, whoever. It's only a few days until we release the next episode, so go and do something productive. Go on, bugger off. Love you.
See you.